Hi all. In today's session, we are going to discuss about S3 bucket. So, which is also one of the important service in your AWS. So, basically, what is an S3? So, and how that data is stored in S3. So, these things we are going to discuss in today's session. So, let's start our session. So, now, one of the important Amazon Web Service is S3. So AWS S3. So what is S3? So S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. So if you want to store some data, that data might be image files or a text file or your jar file. So those data will be stored in S3 bucket. If you want to host static website, then also you can host those static websites by using Amazon S3. So again, S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. So which is used to store your data. And how the data is going to store in S3? So it's a object storage. So data will be stored as objects. So now, rules for creating a bucket. So now, if I want to store some data into my S3, so first what I need to do is I need to create a bucket. So while creating your bucket, you should follow some rules. So bucket name must be between 3 to 16 characters, and bucket name can consist of only lowercase letters, numbers, dots, and hyphen. Bucket name must begin and end with letter or a number. Bucket name must not be formatted as IP address. And bucket name cannot begin with underscore. Bucket name must be unique within a partition. And buckets uses the S3 transfer access transfer acceleration. So the basic things about this page you need to understand is, so the bucket name should be in between 3 to 16 characters length, and bucket name should not contain capital letters. Bucket name should be small letters only always, and it should bucket name. So in S3, the bucket name allows dots and lowercase letters and hyphen. So these are the important things we need to remember. Bucket name must begin and end with letter or a number, and bucket name should not contain any IP address. So if you are giving 192.168 or 5.4, then it's not a valid bucket number, and your bucket name should be unique, and your bucket name should not contain underscores. So these are the restrictions about your bucket name. Now, so S3 basics. So what is S3? S3 is a simple storage service. So already we discussed. So S3 is a safe place to store your files, and it's an object storage. So how the data is stored in your S3? So it's an object store. The data is spread across multiple devices and facilities. S3 is object based, and file size can be from 0 to 5 TB. There is unlimited storage in your S3 bucket. So you can store unlimited data into your S3 bucket. But after your free tier, it will be chargeable. So till 5 GB is free. So files are stored in buckets. So how the files are stored? As an object store. So if you go to next slide, so you can put 5 GB data per put. So each time you can upload 5 GB data into your S3 bucket, and each object will store up to 5 TB of data, and each account can hold 100 buckets. So 100 buckets per account. So these are the S3 maximums. So next, go to next slide. Now, so S3 bucket is a universal namespace, that is name must be unique. So this is your S3 bucket total name, and when you upload a file to S3, you will receive HTTP status code 200 saying that the upload is successful. S3 provides developers and IT team with a secure, durable, high scalable object store. Amazon S3 is easy to use with simple web services interfaces to store and retrieve an amount of data from anywhere on the web. So which will provide durable and secure and faster accessing of data over a web. So that is the one advantage of your S3 bucket, and your S3 bucket should be name should be unique. So this is a one, and when you are uploading your data into your S3 bucket, so if that upload is successful, it will give say 200 status code. So in the S3 bucket, you can upload any number of objects. So it might be a picture, dot file, or any jar file, anything you can upload. An Amazon S3 bucket name is globally unique, and the buckets are created in a region you specify. You can create up to 100 buckets in each your AWS account. So if you are having one account, so how many buckets you can create per account? So the maximum limit to create is 100 buckets per account. There is no limit in the to the number of objects that can be stored into a bucket, and no difference in the performance when sorry performance where you use many buckets or just few. You cannot create a bucket within another bucket. So you cannot create a bucket within another bucket. You can delete a bucket when it is not in a use, and that bucket name can be reused. If you want to others users or AWS resources to access your bucket, then make that bucket as a public. You can have a multiple versions of objects in your bucket by enabling the versioning control. So, so these are the basic important points you should remember while working with your S3 bucket. So let's go to here again. So it's a simple storage service. S3 stands for simple storage service, and your bucket name should contain 3 to 63 characters. Bucket name should be unique, and bucket name should always contain lowercase letters, and bucket name allows dots and hyphen. Bucket name would allows capital letter and IP address underscores. So these are not allowed in your bucket name. So these are the basic things you should remember. So S3 is a simple storage. It will stores your it stores your files. It might be a dot file, it might be a Java file, it might be a image, it might be a Excel file, any file, or it might be a jar file, or it might be a var file. So how it will stores? So it will stores as an object. So the data will be spread across multiple devices and facilities. So when you are uploading your bucket, your data into your S3 bucket, so that data will be replicated to multiple zones. So this is the things you need to remember. So, and after that we'll see another things. So first I want to create a bucket. So if you want to create a bucket, so first you need to follow these things. So let me go to my AWS account. So I have logged into my AWS Twitter account and go to services. First go to your home page. So currently I'm in home page. So here you will able to see S3, but these are the recently visited services by me. So if you won't find, then go to services, and here in the home page you will able to find search bar. So type S3 here. So recently the look and feel got changed. So select this one. So this is the page where you can create your S3 bucket. So if you look at this, I don't have any buckets already created. So, so the number of buckets is 0. Now I want to create a one bucket. So click it here. So when you click it, so it will be a global. So previously, if I go to my previous page, see, currently I'm in Mumbai region. But remember, just three buckets are accessible throughout the region. So it's a global access. That's why your bucket name should be unique. So here, go to here, just it, simple storage service. So click it here. So if you want to store your objects into S3, so first you need to create a bucket. So for that, to create a bucket, so you need to land into this page and after that create a bucket. So how to create? Here I don't have any buckets, so that's why it's showing 0 buckets. Now create a bucket. Click it on create button page. Now you will be landed into this page. So this is create bucket page. So here now, so the bucket name must be 3 to 6 character long. The bucket name can contain only lowercase letters, numbers, dots, and hyphen. And the bucket name must begin and end with letter or a number. So these are the parts you need to remember, these three parts. And IP address underscores capital letters are not allowed in a bucket name. So let me create a bucket. So bucket name should be unique. So I want to create a bucket. So my first, so bucket name should be small. All letters should be small. So I want to create a employee test bucket. So underscores is not allowed. Hyphen is allowed. So capital letters is not allowed. So now tab out. So bucket is available. See, employee hyphen test. So all are small letters. If you want to give some numbers, yes, 1, 2. So this is valid. So if I'm tagging out, yes, now. So I have created a bucket. So I have given a bucket name and the region is this one. But the bucket will be created in this region, but it's a global access. So now, so these things we'll discuss in next session. And bucket versioning, I'm not going to enable the versioning. So what is versioning? All those things also we'll discuss. I'm not going to add any tags as of now. So if you go to advanced settings, here object lock and all those things it will ask, but I'm not going to do anything. So just I'm creating a bucket. Create a bucket. So now if you look into this, now the bucket is created and it's a global. This bucket will be accessible across all the regions. So now if you look into this, the bucket and objects are not public. So it cannot be accessed by public. So the data whichever you have added into this bucket will not be accessible to the public. So now I have created a bucket. So this is a bucket and this is a time when the bucket is created and the region, in which region the bucket is created. So it's Asian Pacific Mumbai region. So which region we need to select? So the region which is near that region you need to select. So now if you look at this bucket, so there is no data presented in this bucket. So how to upload? So click it here, upload, and after clicking, so what you want to upload, either file or a folder. So I want to upload a file. Some file I want to upload. Upload. Now exit. See, in this bucket. So where is my bucket? So this is my bucket, and in this bucket I have uploaded one JPG file. So how it will store? So if you go to here, so S3 is a safe place to store your files. It is an object-based storage. It's an object-based storage. If you are uploading anything into your S3 bucket, so the data will be stored as object. So which format it will store? It's an object store. So if you are storing a text file or an image or a jar file or a WAR file or a HTML file, everything will be stored as an object. So S3 is object based. It allows you to upload files. File size can be 0 to 5 TB. There is ultimate storage. Files are stored in a bucket. Right? Files are stored in a bucket. See now, how many buckets I am having? So only one bucket. In this bucket, the files are stored in an object format. If you click it here, so this is the object URL. See, this is the object URL. So HTTPS and till here. So if you copy this, so if you look at this, so HTTPS and this is a bucket name and this is a region name. Where the bucket is created and after that your file name. So this is the way it will store. So hope this is the way we need to create a bucket and after that we need to upload. So you can upload n number of objects into your bucket. I have uploaded one JPG file. Now I want to upload one more file. Now here you want to add folder or file. Let me upload this image also. Upload. So upload it. Exit. See now my bucket name is this. So how many objects it's containing? Two objects. Both are image JPG files only. Here I have uploaded, but you can upload any data, any file into your S3 bucket. So it will store the data in an object format. So if you click into this, so this is the object URL, and the object type is JPG, and the name is this one, and ARN is this one. So what is ARN? We will discuss this later. So ARN is this one. Exit. So if I go to other one, so this is my bucket. Inside a bucket, you will have a data. So if I go to this, so this is object URL, and this is a ARN, and this is a type. File type is a JPG, and the file name is this. And the region is the bucket created. So in which region the bucket is created? So this is a region. Asian Pacific, Mumbai region. So these are the bucket properties, all those things we'll discuss in next session. So versioning, I want to enable versioning. So how to enable those things we'll discuss in next sessions. So here, if you want to provide any tags to your bucket, that also you can provide. And yeah, let me upload one more image. So this is so before uploading, so go to here, advanced options. So these are the life cycle stages of your object. So you can say life cycle stages or life cycle methods. So if you are uploading your image, so by default the image will be, so if you are uploading one image or a file or a jar file or a text file or a HTML page, so if you are uploading a file into your S3 bucket, so by default it will be stored in standard storage. So standard storage means frequently access data. So across zones, so minimum 3 zones, the replications will be created. And standard IA, so long living frequently accessed data. And one zone IA, long living frequently accessed non-critical data. So if you can see here the replication is 3. Here also the replication is 3. Long living data, infrequent accessing data. Here, if you look at this, frequently accessed data, but not long living data. Standard. So if you are uploading any file into your bucket, so that file will be stored in standard storage, and the replications is 3. So in 3 zones, it will store your data. So if one zone is down or one server is down in that particular zone, data center is down. So how you will get the data from other zones with replication factor. So 3 is minimum is 3 replication. So here also same, but see, one zone IA, long living data, infrequent access, non-critical data. Why? Because here there is no replication. And here you can have glacier as also one. Long-term data archived with relevant time region from minute to hour. So those things also we will these things also we will discuss in detail in next sessions. So this is a way you need to create the object and you need to upload the object. Now, so upload is successful. If you look into this, exit. So all are JPG files only I have uploaded into my bucket. So all this data is presented in this bucket. And each object is stored, so data is stored in an object format. Now, so if you look into this, so in my account, so I have created one bucket, but if you go to this slide, so how many buckets you can create per account? Maximum 100 buckets you can create per account. Each object will able to store 5 TB per object. For put, for put means for one upload at a time, you can upload only 5 GB per put. So if you look at this, so what you are doing here, we are putting the data, add file. So you can able to upload up to 5 GB of data at a time. But for each object, you can able to store 5 TB. So this is a one. And per bucket, sorry, per account, you can create 100 buckets. So this is about your AWS, sorry, this is about your S3 bucket creation and how to upload data. So in next session, we'll discuss more about this, how to access the object, how to provide the public access, all those things we'll discuss. Hope this session is helpful.